Carlsbad, People, Purpose, and Impact, an essential podcast for those who live, work, visit, and play in Carlsbad.
Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. My name is Brett Schanzenbach. I am the president and CEO of the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce, and I am your host this afternoon. And today I'm excited to have with me Sandra Estrada. Sandra is the president of Employees HME. Sandra, thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Well, thank you very much, Brett, for the invitation and opportunity to be part of this podcast community and, of course, connect with your audience. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. So you were born and raised in Mexico.
Correct.
And raised by a single mom and had some of the different experiences, some challenges growing up. Tell us a little bit about your background and how that shaped you. And I know that eventually led you to major in international trade. So tell us about that nuclear family and what that experience was and how that led you into what you ultimately decided to major in college.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, you are right. I was born and raised in Mexico. I grew up with a single mom. She gave us a lot of love and great values. Nonetheless, we went through many years of financial struggles and other challenges. But I knew that education, hard work, and faith will get me through this.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I majored in international trade and customs, but after a few years of practice in this field, life took me to the customer service business. With 20 years of customer service and account management experience in a multicultural corporate environment, and a firm purpose of helping people feel happier in their workplaces, I came up with the idea of offering customer service for your best asset, your most important customer, and key to success, your employees.
Nice. So let's go into that a little bit. Your experience in customer service. Who were some of the companies you worked for? What size were they? What kind of company were they? Tell us a little bit about that.
In my background
Yes,
okay.
In your background.
Since I was born and raised in Mexico, I was working with maquiladoras.
Okay.
They are manufacturing companies at the border, north part of Mexico. So since I majored, I started working with them. Europe, from United States, different countries, China, Japan. We have several different companies over there. So one day I was working on one of these manufacturing companies and I saw this job posting in the newspaper back then, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Different right now.
Yeah.
But back then I saw this and I got very interested because it was more related to customer service, account management. And I really like to interact with people and help customers in that side of my job. So I joined this company, and that is how I started working. Again, still working with different maquiladoras in Mexicali. I was 25 years old, and I was in charge of this maquiladora de servicios. That's the name. So we were a warehousing company where we were offering just-in-time product to local maquiladoras.
Wow. And so through that, then that's where you kind of first got your passion for customer service?
Yes. And then that company closed, and I got a job offer from one of our customers back then. And I still keep working on account management with a company, a factory in China, headquarters in Austin, Texas, and main customers in Mexico and California. Mm-hmm. So again, focusing on customer service and account management.
And then eventually through those things, you kind of made your way more into human resources?
Well, I kept focusing on customer service.
Yeah.
But then I realized that for these kind of companies, where I was working, we were missing that human touch because it was a medium-sized company.
Okay.
Without a formal HR department. The person in charge of accounting was in charge also of HR. And I noticed that at that time we had the resources, in terms of budget, a well-established company, but they don't have the time or the people to perform little tasks like sending birthday cards or anniversary cards. And I started notice the need of that kind of services in companies. And then when I turned 40 years old, I realized that I wanted to make a bigger impact in my life and in others' lives.
Gotcha. Very interesting. And so those experiences all together brought you all the way up to the point of you're like, okay, I'm ready to do something different, launch out on my own, which is just a couple of years ago. You started Employees HME in 2019, is that right?
Well, I started providing officially my services at that year, but the planning, the business model started about 5 years ago. But officially launched with a customer at that year. Unfortunately, just before COVID. It was a not moment to launch a new business.
Not the easiest time, but
but it's a service that it's really helping companies. So at that moment, of course, everything was on hold. And then after that, a lot of companies, they were just focusing on survive.
Yes.
Now, at this moment, it's when I'm starting to see that they are, looking into employees back again, especially right now, right? With all this crisis, the Great Resignation phenomenon, and all that.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So we are going to take a brief pause. We're talking with Sandra Estrada, the president of Employees HME. And when we come back, we're going to have her explain what HME stands for and talk about how they do what they do and bring their magic to companies. So you started, Sandra, right before COVID, and even though that doesn't seem like a great time to start a new business, the need for what you do was very high during COVID if we really think about it. So why don't we kind of share with the audience the vision for Employees HME? First of all, tell them all what HME actually stands for.
Of course. Thank you. So the name of my company is Employees HME. H for happiness, M for motivation, and E for engagement. We are helping companies to make their employees feel more appreciated. We are not providing the regular employee benefits that we know. This is something different. We are supporting with personalized employee engagement programs, a software platform, and unique products, creating a happier work environment and increasing employees' motivation, productivity, and retention. Little details that can make a difference on employees' attitude. Yeah.
Okay. So happy, motivated, what was the E again?
Happiness, motivation, and engagement.
Okay. Happy, motivated, engaged employees.
Happiness, motivated. Yeah.
You want happy, motivated, engaged employees, right? So, okay. Let's explain some of that because I've seen a sample of one of your really, really neat little kits that you provide. And why don't you explain how the program works, and if a company were one of your clients, what you do for that company to get that happiness, that engagement, and that motivation.
Sure, thank you very much. Yeah, we are providing these engagement programs, and we are very flexible to customize depending on the needs of each company. But in general, we can say that we are focusing on increased communication with a software platform. We are, knowing the employee with assessments. We are celebrating birthdays, anniversaries. We are giving back to the community, which is very, very important for us. We are also providing unique, personalized, and unique products, like you mentioned, the Mighty Box.
Yes.
This Mighty Box is a monthly gifting program to promote well-being and emotional health of the employee through information and practices about motivation, gratitude, happiness, mindfulness, and a small gift. And also we are giving back to nonprofit organizations of the company's choice with this every month with each box.
Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit more about the software part of it, because I've heard you say software a couple of times, and I'm not as familiar with what the software piece entails.
Yes, we have a partnership with a local company. The name is Clarity Wave. and I love that it's a local company also from San Diego County.
Yeah.
They with this all-in-one employee engagement and motivation software, which is also in English or Spanish. We provide also our services are bilingual, which is also important. We address and improve the top 6 drivers of motivation and engagement: communication, recognition and appreciation, belonging, trust, growth and development, and justice and equality. So this service is going to help us to increase the communication internally between the employees. And the other services, like I was saying, promoting the fun, the celebration, the giving back, the volunteering opportunities for the employees, everything is very personalized to each employee to make them feel important as one individual at the company.
Sure.
And not just a number.
Right. So like you mentioned like celebrating their birthday. So give us an example of how, like what an employee would receive through this program for their birthday, for instance.
It depends. Well, we offer several options depending on the company. But we have, for example, one customer that he actually likes to celebrate, with a cake, balloons, a birthday card. We have other customer that he likes or he requests us just to provide the birthday cards. They are handmade, personalized, executive birthday cards. Different than the one that can find, at any
at Hallmark.
Yeah,
yeah.
They are different with a human touch that you can see that it's some extra, that that it's that makes feel the employee more appreciated.
Appreciated, yeah. They were thought of individually. Okay, so it ranges from you guys sending a birthday card or all the way up to a cake for each employee's birthday. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it all depends the level of support that the HR department needs. Some HR departments, they can do some certain things and they need just a little bit of help, or other HR departments, they need more help.
Makes sense, yeah. And then I'm really curious about the volunteering thing that you mentioned. Tell me about that and how that works and how you guys help with that.
Well, again, since I'm coming from another country, and I have had the opportunity to see how blessed we are in this country.
Yes.
I really, really want to give back to the community, and I think as a personal value that giving back is a way to show gratitude for all what we have, and giving the option to employees of volunteering in meaningful activities in the community really enhances the work atmosphere. Actually, is one of the tips that we say for employee engagement: offer volunteer opportunities. And actually, 70% of employees believe that volunteering enhances the work atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean we've had that here too at the chamber, where as a team we've gone down and helped and done cleanup at the Agua Hedionda Lagoon before. That was kind of a fun one that we did together. But it's a service, but it's also bonding, and just kind of fun. You're out of the office and doing something positive, that kind of thing. And so I agree with you. It is the kind of thing that can really bring you together.
And with new generations, we know that the new employees, the younger employees, they work not just for the paycheck. They want to have that sense of, helping others or meaningful purpose in the job. And I think also that my generation is also seeing the importance of that part.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah. Another thing that you mentioned that makes sense to me and resonates to me is like the services that you provide. You're providing this. You're helping companies create this positive culture, this positive work environment. And you mentioned that today with the Great Resignation, I mean, it's very expensive to lose employees and to be starting over, recruiting, training, versus, taking some thoughtful effort and implementing a program like this to actually show the employees how much you care. I mean, I think it's probably a lot less money to work with a program like yours than to continually be recruiting and training people.
You are absolutely right. The replacement or turnover cost an average of $17,000 per employee with a median salary of $50,000 a year. And investing in employee recognition is very important because 69 of the employees say that they will work harder if they feel more appreciated. Investing in a program like ours really represents less than 1% of an employee earning a medium salary.
Yeah.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1% of their annual salary type of thing. So for a very reasonable rate, you can get a high touch, engaging program to, show appreciation. And because it's not that companies don't appreciate, but it's hard sometimes to just take time. It's hard to remember. And even I know before COVID, we had certain systems in place here at the Chamber to celebrate birthdays. We had certain systems in place to get the team together and do things like that. And then COVID changed everything. And then, here we are now kind of mostly past COVID. But some things have changed forever. Like the office dynamics are not the same, right? Some of our staff are going to be working from home forever.
Yeah.
And other staff are mixed. And so it's not the same environment it was. And so we have to, I know my team has to rethink, how did we do all those things and how do we intentionally recreate some of those things we were doing, even if we do them different, and it takes intentionality, and that's sometimes gets pushed to the side when you're just trying to get through the grind of the work week and the work month.
Yes, you're totally right. And, with employee engagement, we have a lot of benefits, like, grow business performance, higher retention, rise in profitability, decrease in absenteeism, elevate culture, customer satisfaction, positive employee experience, increase productivity, a lot of benefits.
Yeah, not surprising at all. So tell us about what, I know you said you can customize your program. So currently, what is what is the profile of a couple different companies using your services? And then, beyond that, who else could use it? So
in our experience during these few years, we are seeing the need and also the willing to hire this kind of services with manufacturing companies. And we are targeting companies between 50 and 300 employees. That is our target market.
Yeah. Okay. So manufacturing companies with 50 to 300 employees. But obviously manufacturing is probably not the only type of company that could use your service, I'm guessing.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. We should say companies in general between 50 and 300 employees. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. In our current situation, at this moment, we have customers in the manufacturing industry, but you are right. Companies in general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. That's wonderful. You and I have talked a little bit in other environments and other venues. And so tell me what it is that, you had this corporate background before and you saw a need. And so you created this company, Employees HME. And now tell me, when you go home at the end of a day and it's been it's a good day, you feel really satisfied. What was that? Did you get some feedback from, say, a frontline staff worker at one of these manufacturing companies, or what gives you that sense of satisfaction? This is a great thing for me to be doing.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, I love since early in the morning when we start sending congratulations, when we start working on anniversaries, birthdays. What a great way to start the day, right?
Yeah.
Celebrating.
Yes.
I love that.
It's like being a flower delivery person. It's always positive. It's just wonderful.
I love that.
Yeah.
We have received comments directly from production employees saying thank you very much. I have received directly to my email saying thank you very much. We never had this kind of details for us, and this is very meaningful. Those are the moments where I really think everything is worth it, because as an entrepreneur, starting a business, it's a roller coaster of emotions. I love the challenge. I love that each day I'm learning something, and I have a lot of opportunities to grow personally and professionally. And I love that part. But at the end, also, we are human beings. And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh,
yes.
Can I really do this?
Yeah.
But when I see those kind of messages, I'm like, yeah, I can do it. When I know people like you guys here at the Carlsbad Chamber, with having a lot of support from the community,
yes,
makes a real difference.
That's great. Yeah, that's wonderful. It's nice to get that feedback, like from your, the end user who's like so appreciative that, and here you've created something pretty much. I mean, I think you kind of created this on your own, didn't you? This
yes.
whole system and the whole.
Yes.
Yeah. So you took your experiences, created something new, and then to get that validation, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I have been adjusting the business model.
Sure.
Because at the beginning, I was just thinking to offer these services for small offices where they don't have a formal HR department. But Live Universe took me to my background experience. So I got the first opportunity with this manufacturing company of 35 employees. And then I got another opportunity with a manufacturing company of 250 employees. So the business model has been adjusting.
Sure.
But I love that.
Yeah.
Because now I feel confident enough to offer the services to this company size.
Well, that's fantastic. And if somebody wanted to learn more and just get to know you more and look into it and contact you, what's the best way?
Yes, of course. We will be very, very happy to help you. And you can contact us at the phone number 760-444-0180. Again, 760-444-0180. Our website is www.employeeshme.com. Sandra Estrada. Email address, sandra.estrada@employeeshme.com.
Employeeshme.com. Sounds like a good place where they can learn a little bit more, get in touch with you, give you a call, and set up because as you mentioned, each one's a little different. So as you talk to companies and evaluate what level of service they're looking for, how many employees they have, all that kind of stuff, then I would assume you kind of put together a proposal for them.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We will be very happy to support on that.
That's wonderful. Anything else you want to share that I haven't thought to ask you? I don't want to miss anything.
Well, thank you. I think that in general, we have been covering the general aspect of the business and how we can support. But it's also, I would like just to emphasize that employee engagement is a two-way process.
Sure.
It's all about how you treat and interact with your employees. Of course, HR departments and managers are key to this process. But we need to keep in mind the drivers of motivation and engagement. We know sometimes this is not an easy task, but there are many ways to achieve this, and we are here to help you. Thank you very much again for the opportunity to share this information. I hope this can be valuable for our business community. Yeah, no, thank you. The reason when we first met that I wanted to do this interview is because I think it's so unique, and I think there's a lot of companies who could gain a lot of value by implementing your services. So thank you so much for taking the time to come down and share with us. Thanks again to you. Thank you, Brett. Thanks for joining us on our Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact podcast today. If you enjoyed it, please hit the follow button on wherever you get your audio. And please tell a friend. We would love to hear your feedback, which you can share at carlsbadpodcast.com. You can leave us a review, ask a question, or leave an audio comment, which we can play on the show in the future. And that's all we have for today. Can't wait to see you next time on Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact. And remember, share some kindness today. It's free, creates goodwill, and makes you feel great.